So one of the things that I really love about the guitar is that, number one, you can work with a metronome. Number two, there are these really beautiful shapes that you can just parallel playing across the guitar to write, hit songs. As long as you have the right, A&R people in the field and, production and marketing teams, you can do whatever you want. But anyway, here we go. Here's the old tuning fork. Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît, said the guitar man on the internet. All right, get the teacup going here so that way we have it ready for the break. But here's the A440. Oh yes, it's so 440. Oh, speak to me. That's for you, and this one's for me. I think we're headed to hit one of the, I don't know, I think it's one of the top 10 swimming holes in the United States this morning. So we are let's see. We are picking ourselves up by the bootstraps and moving ourselves over to a very special place for a little sunny day, high heat, high solar index recreation. And it is going to be fun. I have a few GoPros charging, so I'll probably include it in one of my next riff casts. Because I like to do that kind of stuff. All right, we're getting there, aren't we? Yes, we are going to unencumber ourselves with the day-to-day and go and live a little differently today. Only for a moment. So we're tuning up. And this swimming hole is, it's I guess legendary, and it's pretty much only been known to local folk, but me being local folk, what we've done, we've witnessed, well, I'll tell you the story as we come along. Let's go ahead and start. If you're joining us this morning, welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth, which is specifically for warming up, right? And then the idea of growth is that the repetition, the nature of the repetition is helpful for many. And we'll go ahead and get started right now. So we're on time. So 7:34 and we're hitting the road. Let's do this warm up. We'll start with fingers 3 and 4, lest ye don't warm up unless ye remain. Guitar heating. Here we go. Fingers 3 and 4 on frets 10 and 12. Here, 1 and 2, 60 beats per minute, 4 tacks per beat. Ooh, it just seems criminal this morning to be pushing this hard. It just does not seem right. I'm not sure how you feel about this, but it's feeling pretty wrong. So I'm going to start with just 2 attacks per beat. And I'm sorry if it's too slow for you or too fast or whatever, but I would encourage you to grab your guitar and play along anyway. Just play along anyway. And until I get my breath right and my posture correct, I'm going to sit right here at 2 attacks per beat. That's right. We're getting these wide finger stretches down here on frets, the 0 fret, fret 1 and 2, and we're climbing all the way back up to the place from whence we came, Whither are we traveling? We're traveling toward the, if I'm looking at it, I'm traveling toward the east right now on the fretboard, up. All right, I guess it'd be north, right? Getting that breath right. If you're here, I know you don't need me to talk the entire way through this situation, but sometimes it helps to know that I'm here with you. I'm talking to the guitar, of course, and I love to talk to the guitar, you know, in the morning. This is all about, for me, this is about saying good morning to the guitar and good morning to you. So fingers 2 and 3, next 10 and 12, here we go. And it's slow enough where you can just catch up or just play whatever it is you want. Something that looks like this, you don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing. You could play your fingers, you know, next door to, you don't have to use this fret skip. You could just use contiguous frets if you prefer. It's super simple. But just playing, it doesn't have to sound exactly like what I'm doing. Hopefully it sounds better than what I'm doing. All right, so we do have a few things in store for today. And we're going to, as we bridge the gap from this warm-up process into our practice day, what I'll do is I start transitioning my mindset from that of a warming up guitar practitioner in warm-up phase to that of a guitar practitioner in practice phase. I think I'm going to start speeding things up now. Here we go. That's right. 4 attacks per beat, and it's notably faster and quicker than the 2 attacks per beat, is it not? It should be. It's, I think, twice as fast. There we go, and fingers 1 and 2. Feeling the burn yet? 1 E and 2, here we go. Yeah, so after this morning's ritual, at 9 a.m. we're dropping the bomb on the, so we had one of these, there it is over there, I brought it down here. We had a a head rush flex prawn show up at our doorstep. And so we put it to work. We just kind of ran through all of the, you know, the default patches on it. We didn't do any button pushing, we didn't do any stomps, we didn't do anything like that. But if you are interested in, you know, electric guitar, or this has some really great acoustic guitar patches too. But if you have any interest in, you know, altering the sound of your instrument with a relatively affordable piece of equipment, you know, this might be of interest to you. It's the Headrush Flex Prime, so that drops at 9 a.m. this morning. It should be a lot of fun to just I would recommend if you have fingers 2 and 4 on 9 and 12. I would recommend 2E and a TE and a 4. I would recommend if you have decent quality headphones or studio monitors or something, you kind of like, you could watch it. It sounds great on a mobile phone too, but if you have access to high fidelity systems, you know, like with the Stereophonic headphone systems, then, you know, it's a lot of fun to listen that way because you get all the grit. And even better if you have a studio monitor system with a subwoofer where you can feel the bottom end, that's cool too. But it premieres, so I'll be there, sort of like hanging out with you guys as we walk through it. So if you have questions about the unit, it's the Headrush Flex Prime. So you can watch it if you want. It's a lot of fun. You see some fairly, you know, some okay guitar playing, but just model the walkthrough. Fingers 1 and 3 on frets 9 and 12. Here we go. How's your back? How's your back? Is it straight? Is your abdominal wall solid? Is it tight? Is it holding? Is it helping to support your back, your upright back? I'm asking, how is your core doing this morning? Hopefully your core is doing okay. I've been doing some core work in my yoga adventures. So I wake up in the morning. I haven't done yoga this week yet in the morning, but at night I've been doing a longer session to make up for the gap in the mornings. But we've been working on some core strengthening, so that's helpful for sitting around and playing guitar for a long period of time. And speaking of playing guitar for a long period of time, we're here for 1 hour this morning. So every 15 minutes, we'll show up, we'll put the guitar down, we'll go ahead and stretch, and we'll go ahead and do that kind of stuff. And to break that larger block of time down into something more palatable for tissue. And be mindful of our health. So here we go. Fingers 1 and 4 now on frets 7 and 12. Moving in and out of 5s and 4s. One beat of 5s and 4s. One beat of 5s and then one beat of 4s. Just break it up a little bit, break up the monotony of it all. And so we are 1 moment away from stretching, so I'm going to go ahead and get a stretch in now. And if you don't mind, we'll just get going on the stretch. I'll place my pick down here, use my guitar. My guitar surface I usually will use as a sort of a work surface. So I have a book that's available on Amazon. It's called Write, Play, Repeat, and it's a guitarist's notebook. And what I'll do is I'll have my pencil, my mechanical pencil here with a nice eraser, separate eraser, because I erase a lot. And then I'll have my book open here, and then I'll jot down my musical thought, and then I'll put it away, and then come back to it when I need to jot down another thought. So it's always right here. And I've been transcribing a lot. I've been transcribing a lot of tunes recently. Listening has been a huge part. Okay, what we're doing is we're stretching, and we are keeping the arm sort of straight. And we're going to just do this 4-finger stretch. We'll stretch the thumb a little later on. I do this, 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 this. So everything gets 16 clicks, or 4 beats, or 4 bars, right? So I've been transcribing a lot lately. So have you been listening to anything new going on that I'm missing, that I should be hearing? Let's see, if you have anything that you've been listening to that you'd like to share with me, you could share with me at growth@jasoncareyguitar.com. That's my email. You could always share that anytime you like, growth@jasoncareyguitar.com. And I'm just going to roll my hands around a little bit, and then just get this reciprocal relationship going where you can hear the snaps and pops. I just had one in my other arm, my wrist. But this is great for the system. This renews the system so that when we come back and start working again on the guitar, we feel like we have new limbs, new arms, fresh stuff. The trick, though, to this is continue breathing. And if you're new here, if you're just pulling in, thank you for stopping by to check out what's up. This is a guitar warm-up session. It's a morning ritual for guitar growth, and love to have you stick around because we've got some really fun stuff coming up that you might enjoy as a guitar practitioner. So you're more than welcome. This is free all year 2025, every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So tell your friends, share it with your friends. If you have guitar player friends, or other musician friends who would love to warm up, have a warm-up period alone together in the mornings, I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And this is an entire year. So the entire year is going by and we are getting better at the guitar. 2025 is the year of the guitarist. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Don't let them tell you otherwise. The guitar players still decide. The day the finger pickers took over the world, I remember that day. Have you heard that album? If you haven't heard that album yet, Kevin, this is for you and all of you other good folks, good guitar practitioners out there. The day the finger pickers took over the world, I'm sure you know the record. It's with the great Chet Atkins and Tommy Emmanuel. It's one of their, it's a while ago. But Borsellino, I'll tell you what, some of the music on that record and the picking is just world class, just world class. So the day the finger pickers took over the world, that's right. Maybe we'll start working on some of those songs here too. All right, just working through these final stretches. If you're just joining us, like I said, you're walking into a stretch. I'm going to sip a little bit of green tea here with jasmine in it this morning and finish up my little break, my 2-minute break. And what I do is every 15 minutes, I will take a little break. And then I come back at it, a refreshed man, a refreshed guitar man. Just a little sip because it's still pretty hot. All right, where are we at? We're at fingers 2, 3, and 4. Let's jump right back into it. And I feel like $1,000,000. Let's go ahead, 2, 3, and 4. 1 E and a 2. If you're hearing that click, yes, it's a metronome. And yes, you guessed it, it's at 60 beats per minute. And it's just that leisurely, it's that leisurely walk that you do when you're trying to play it cool as you walk up to one of the world's greatest swimming holes, you know? On a sunny day in the 90s, full solar, you got your skivvies on, you know, your Speedos. I wear it like when I go when I fish, but when I swim, I like to swim outdoors in the ponds and streams. Sometimes I wear these really super functional clothes, you know, I buy outdoor clothes and then they're rugged, they're expensive, but they last a long time. And then I'll wear sandals, you know, Jocos or whatever, so don't cut my feet open, and I have a little traction, a little more mobility. And so you gotta play it cool. You're just walking out to the hole, cool. You don't need to, it's walk, don't run. Thinking about another song from, is that Ventures, Walk, Don't Run? Man, there's so many wonderful songs to listen to. I have a friend, a good friend, I haven't heard from him for a while, but let's go back to fingers 1 and 2 and 3, 10, 11, and 12. Stick around because we're going through, yesterday we started to talk about how do you create melody out of nothing. And today we're going to shift as we as we near completion of our warm-up today, we're going to start again shifting the mindset away from that of the guitar practitioner warming up to that of a guitar practitioner practicing. You know, the mindsets are two completely different things in my mind anyway. The warm-up is wake up, right? And then the practice is lifting the veil, right? And moving from the known to the unknown. So they're two different processes. So to me, I'm just saying, good morning, guitar. Do you ever say good morning, guitar? And in this case, I've never had a guitar that was named, but I'm going to share the picture with you on my community post. It's just so cool. I'll give you the backstory, but a friend who you all may know sent me this photograph of the guitar when I had it on my lap. And he said, you know, the grain on the back of the guitar looks like Tweety, like a Tweety bird, and he drew the rest of the bird out. There was the bird head, and then I know you've all seen it, but there it is right there. You see it? So I call the guitar Tweety now. I've never ever named, I have friends who name every guitar they have, right? I've never named a guitar, and fingers 1, 2, 4, but today, so 1, 2, T, E, and a 4. Today I'm playing Tweety. So it's a good, appropriate name for this guitar, you know, really cool. It feels good to have a name on a guitar. Come to find out, it took me this far along in life to get that, to figure that out. I always sort of imagined the model number was close enough or good enough, you know. But so what does Tweety do? What do you do, Tweety? I like to think about my guitar. I like to try to humanize my guitar. Even though it didn't have a name, I like to try to humanize it and think like, if you have certain notes you'd like to play and you have certain things you'd like to do while I'm custodian of this, of you, taking care of you and feeding and watering you, you know, with well humidified and well heated and controlled environments. What is it that we want to do together? Do we want to write songs together? Do we want to become super proficient in as many areas as we can, or do we want to really dial it in and become sort of expert in one area, sort of like get laser focused? So those are all things that can wander the mind while we go ahead and we do this warm-up. The trick though is to stay focused. When I start to feel my mind wandering like that, what I'll do is remember to focus on my breath, and as soon as I focus on my breath for just a moment, all of that tension that was in my body, I can remove it. Correct my posture, correct my abdominal wall, my core, strengthen up my core, straighten up my back, and smile. Smiling's a huge part of what we do, you know. And shaking the head back and forth is another huge part of what we do. Moving the legs like we're walking to the swimming hole is another thing that we do. So physical movement is one of the things that we do a lot of, being a musician or a guitar practitioner. And movement of fine motor and gross motor is so important to memorize. Like, for example, if we were going to do something like that, we would want to know, you know, we would want to have a gross motor skill. We're working fine motor skill, of course, the fingertips, but then we're also working the larger pattern, the larger tissues as we switch from one position to the next, which we in turn likely have already memorized in our previous engagements with the guitar. So let's go ahead and start with fingers 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and we're starting at 9, 10, 11, and 12, and this is actually us now. We're finally graduated to becoming 4-fingered guitar players again. So if you've been here with us, you know that we start every morning as a 2-finger guitar player, a 2-finger guitar practitioner. And then we move, once we do a few of those permutations and stretches, then we graduate to becoming 3-fingered guitar practitioners. And then, so on and so forth, we do all of those permutations. Then we arrive at a place, the holy holy of holies. If you have 4 fingers, let's use 4 fingers. And so we're just arriving at our 4-finger destination and our 4-finger station in life. So this is no joke, you know. Maintaining 4 fingers as a guitar player really can be a challenge. So what do we do about that? Well, I'll tell you what we do about that. We don't have to always play at, you know, forte on the guitar. We can start playing piano. Piano as in like a mezzo piano or mezzo forte or forte or fortissimo. But we don't have to always play at the same dynamic level. So that's one thing that we have at our disposal to help keep everything in line and interesting and engaging. So same thing. Let's do fingers 1, 2, 3, stretch 4. I had a text immediately after we finished yesterday from a viewer, a loyal viewer, a long-time viewer. I really appreciate that. That is really great to hear. You know, sometimes it's communication I've found is key. Wouldn't you say communication is key? So that's another one that is probably worth unpacking at great length, especially if we are guitar practitioners. What we're trying to excel at is listening, which is one huge part of, it's the key to communication, is listening. So I've been, like I started to explain earlier, I've been basically just re-examining or refreshing my capabilities around the discipline of transcription. So we'll listen for a few, I've been transcribing songs like crazy. You know, like bluegrassy songs, shred songs, really getting in there, looking for all of the detail. And I schedule 1 hour a day for that right now. I have that built into my calendar, my daily calendar. Key that I was in. All right, D. Let's go ahead and do the old 1, 2, 3, 4. This time we'll use the kickstand. This one is for stretching the first finger back, the index finger. Where were we? 1 E and a 2. Here we go. And once in a while I'll put these little charges in there, and it will probably cause some grief for you to, what is he doing? Why did I miss a note? Or don't worry about, you know, try not, I know you want to keep up, and I know you want to do exactly the same thing that I'm doing. That's why it's repetitive, so that we can play along together eventually if you're not doing this yet. But it is repetitive so that we don't have to worry about what we're going to do next. We just take the time to feel our way over the string sets. Maybe with the eyes closed, we have access to a lot more of the sensational aspects of touch. So we have these really great drills that we're doing that help us to rely not only on our sight, but rely on touch and feel. Like, I know sometimes we can go a little deeper if we remove the processing power of the eyesight. So I like to practice a lot with my eyes closed, and I have to say, that's really helped me over the years to formulate something of great use for my own person. I don't know if it means anything to anybody else, but I know it really helps me out. So if you're just tuning in, if you're just coming and going, stick around for a few minutes and just see what's going on, and grab your guitar. You're bound to find something you like. Come on, grab your guitar. We can play together. We're warming up. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And this is another stretch for me. It's another stretch period. So welcome back to stretch number 2 of the morning ritual for guitar growth. And this time I'll start with some tea because I didn't get a whole lot of tea on the last round. 15 minutes has done this a great deal of benefit at room temperature. So it's coming down to a sippable temperature. It's a ritual. So if you want, you can follow along every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I know this is crazy. I don't know how it's going to get as we start getting into the holiday season. But my plan is to keep going, is to do this for the entire year of 2025. The year of the guitarist. I think if you look at the Chinese zodiac, if you look at that, this year 2025 is actually the year of the guitarist. I think. I'm not sure. But maybe they can write it in. But it is the year of the guitarist, at least in my mind. Where we have a lot of work to do, both on our own persons, in our own spiritual natures, and in our relationship with God, and our relationship with our own person, our relationship with our family members, friends, communities that we grew up in and now serve. There's just so much to do. And guitar, I think, notwithstanding, is a source of good energy and good quality folk transfer. It's good quality. It helps us to focus in on the thought, such as the song that we released is yesterday, the new song that I just released called "The People Still Decide" by Jason Carey, released everywhere worldwide yesterday. And that's not a real difficult thing to do now, but it's a song that will likely become a classic, I think, just because of the day and the time that we're releasing the message in. It's a stinger, it's a real, it's a guitar song. It's self-accompanied vocals, and with a bluegrass sort of guitar that I thought, it's got that urgency of Bob Dylan, the flat picking sort of fire of Tony Rice, and that sort of that raw edge of like the Kurt Cobain, you know what I mean? But with the storytelling prowess of like Tim O'Brien. So it's a really fun song. And it's a fun song to be able to share because it reminds us that the people still do, we do decide. I had some comments on some of my channels like, yeah, Jason, that's just an American wet dream. It's like, I know people who still decide. I'm not sure in what world you're living in, but I do know that the people still decide, and we only let happen if things are happening that we don't like. They're only happening because we allow it, right? I know that for a fact. So it's a fun song to sing and play. If you want to learn it, let me know. I'd love to share it. I'd love to teach it. chemistry style voicings. You know, if you're not with me on the chord chemistry video series yet, I invite you to, it's another free series that I'm doing here on the, it's just a huge series and a huge undertaking whereby we walk together page by page, word by word, and chord by chord through the late great Mr. Ted Green's chord chemistry book. So you can dial up chord chemistry right here on my channel if you'd like to follow along and get started with us. So all right, let's go ahead and do these. We completed our 1, 2, 3, 4s. Let's just go ahead and do this to be conservative with our time, but still get that that diagonal pattern in. I don't know if I'm ready for this or not. Ready or not, here I come. So we're going through this pattern. We're going to condense the usual 1, 2, 3, 4 work that we do into a more, you know, sort of palatable and more, it's just a more technical exercise or warm up to sort of like execute on, because we have these string skips between low E and the D string, and then down, up, down, alternate picking, and then a skip between the G and B, high E strings. So it is a little bit challenging where we use 9, 10, 11, and 12 on the E string, the D string, the G string, and high E. So I'll give us a full count on this one, and if you're here, you're more than welcome to join. Check it out, because this will it will literally transform your playing in the next 1 to 2 to 3 weeks to 2 to 3 months, depending on how much you incorporate this in your warm-up and practice. 1 E and a 2, 1 Z and 2 C, and putting on my shoesies. You'll notice my posture is suffering, and I correct it. Start breathing and correct the core. Correcting the core is going to take care of a lot of the problems where we hold tension in our bodies in places we don't observe. I'm just doing it again in 5s. Good. So it's atonal. It's not really anything that we really need to do, but it is a super, super warm-up for later on. You know, put that in the can and open it up later. Great stuff at work here. So you can see where all of this starts leading, but we're still not quite finished with the warm-up frame of mind yet. So we'll go ahead and just breathe and come right back to the warm-up. And today, before we start shifting our step from that mindset of the guitar practitioner warming up, we'll go ahead and shift into the mindset of the guitar practitioner, shifting the mindset toward the practice mindset. We're going to continue with minor pentatonics or pentatonic systems. And I'm just going to blast through this. I'm using position number 1 or pattern number 1. And I've heard that some of you don't have that pattern yet. So that email is coming, I think, today. I'm not sure what the delay is, but I'll get that out there. And I thank you for your patience. So if you do decide you still want this pattern, this pentatonic pattern, the whole system, you can email me at growth@jasoncareyguitar.com, and we'll send you the PDF binder. It's a little, just a little bit different than what you might expect. So I spend a lot of time, sometimes I'll spend only a whole day on one shape, just to sort of discipline myself and get totally familiar with that one shape, right? And if you want the PDF binder, you're more than welcome to email me at growth@jasoncareyguitar.com, or you could visit me at jasoncareyguitar.com on the web anytime you'd like, and just communicate with us there. All right, pattern number 2. We're approaching our 3rd and final stretch for the day. At 8:15. All right, let's go ahead and do pattern number 3. So, hold on a second. Just gotta get this thing over here. All right, there we go. Pattern number 3. Like I was saying earlier, every day I might just focus on one of these patterns for the entire day, just to discipline myself and become totally, do all of these different sort of like permutations with this one pattern, and just to build it. Spend a week with one pattern and discipline yourself that way. So if you're playing gigs, only commit to using one of these patterns it's pretty challenging to pull it off and make it sound good. It will definitely impact the way that you think about presenting yourself as a guitar player, because as soon as you start playing, you're going to start doing those familiar licks, and you're going to search for those familiar licks you know and love so well in the other position, but they're not coming, right? And so, I need to slow down and be a little bit more mindful. At least this is what happens to me. All right, and position number 4. Or shape number 4. Like I said, if you do want a binder that includes all these shapes and a little bit more that gives us a little bit of insight as to what I'm doing and why, you could go ahead and just email me at growth@jasoncareyguitar.com. GROWTH, growth@jasoncareyguitar.com. Just give me a little message and we'll go ahead and get that out to you. Sometimes production schedule is a little tight and it takes us a little longer to be responsive than we would like, but fortunately for us, we have good, patient people working with us. So you can see that I'm going ahead to do this one a little bit longer, going through a second tour of duty. Let's do that later. We're going ahead, it's 17 past, so we'll go ahead, we'll do our final stretch for the day, and we'll start with, the arms are feeling pretty good right now. The arms are feeling wonderful, and if you're here, still thank you very much for hanging out, and thank you very much for playing along with Jason Carey Guitar for the morning. This is the morning ritual for guitar growth, which you've stumbled into, and just stick around for the last 10 minutes. I have this final stretch, then we're getting into something really a little bit more practical, like where the rubber meets the road kind of stuff. And just getting through the final stretch. The final stretch is upon us, and we can feel the day starting to call. And we'll continue with our focused approach though, because that's no problem for us. We have the metronome at 60 beats per minute, which is our guide, our companion, as well as our partner, the guitar, with us. So if you don't have your guitar yet, go ahead and grab your guitar. I'll be here for another at least 10 minutes, 12 minutes. So go ahead and grab your guitar and jump in for the last bit. Yeah, we'll be here. We're almost finished with this stretch. Yeah, it's good. Right, shake it out a little bit. Maybe give the thumbs a little love too this morning. I stretch all of these in different ways and blah blah blah. So you know the deal. So if I was, if I'm starting to like, there are so many ways to go, so many directions in which we could travel right now, but I think the most important thing is to just care for your instruments and wipe that acid that is left by, and that helps the experience to be better. I've been on gigs before where I just keep one of these rags over my shoulder or handy or something. Because I'm kind of weird like that. I just rather it feel good and my hand not get stuck to the neck. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's important to play to the best of my ability, even though my ability might not. I feel like my ability might not be the same ability as others. I still want to do the best I can do. Right. So that's. So taking the melody, I think I wanted to talk a little bit more about melody and what I like to do about melody. Yesterday we talked about the G major pentatonic. Today I'd like to talk about the C major pentatonic in open position. So if I start with the 3rd fret on the A string, then I move up to the open D string, then up to the 2nd fret on the D string, and then up to the open G, and then up to the A, fret 2 on the G, and then up to the C on fret 1 on the B string. We can start approaching some really interesting areas on the guitar. So we have this really melodic. So one of the things that, a folk songwriter like Bob Dylan might do is play the C chord, right? And we might need a melody to appear from the C. So I'm just sitting around playing the chords. Who talks about the chord comes first? The chord comes first, and then the song, and then the lyrics. So maybe it's a full C chord, maybe it's just a C sus2, maybe it's just a C sus4 back to the C, or maybe it's without major or minor, which opens up the door for what we're about to do together. So maybe it's the Nashville C. We purposefully leave out the C, the E note, or the 3rd of any chord because the vocalist or the melodic players might want to tune that 3rd. Do, re, mi. When I say mi, when I sing do, re, mi, and I play that, and if I'm a guitar player in a band, in a studio band, and I play a C with an E in it, and the vocalist is trying to slur into the D, I'm going to get funny looks, or I'm definitely not going to get called back. So I wanted to incorporate this into the C major pentatonic system. So I'm playing the Nashville C with C, click the D string, I'm choking out the D string with the fat part of my ring finger, or finger number 3, open G, finger 1 on fret 1 on the B, this one, hello, fret 3 on fret 3, finger 4 on fret 3 on the C, on the G note, on the high E string. And then, get rid of that 2nd finger. I know I want to play that note. Take it easy or something. It's just, so I'm just playing the old boom chick pattern with bass and chord strums. Now I can move freely between all of the notes in that C major pentatonic system. C, D, E, by strumming through that pattern, not changing the pattern. You see the magic there? right. So if by eliminating the C or that third in the E, we could make it both, we could play minor too, right? So check this out. We don't have to play C major pentatonic. We could play C minor pentatonic. Because if you hear this as major right now, it's just your mindset, right? You're going to hear it as minor in just a moment. Oh, let's take a look at the C minor pentatonic in open position. C. All right, C, and then E flat, and then 4, F, and then G, and then back to B flat, and then to C. So. Start blurring the lines between both major and minor scales in open position. It's a little more challenging, but it's definitely doable. So I'm just going to take it home with that just for a minute. That's enough for today. Anyway, just playing around, but I'm so happy that you're here with us today, and if you're here repeatedly, I'm very thankful for that. Just thank you for playing guitar with Jason Carey Guitar here on the interwebs, and I hope you have a wonderful day today, and it's another fine day, mighty fine day in the day of you, the guitar practitioner, and your family man and woman and all that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to continue rattling on and on, but I am going to say I'm grateful. I am grateful. And we'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 7:30 a.m. And until we meet again, I wish you